Sunset over the city of Copenhagen, and moving slowly through the canals and towing those random-looking pastel lights you see are swimmers. This is part of an annual event that draws people to the water around the Danish capital. The night swim, according to organizers, attracted 700 people over the weekend. They're in wetsuits as the air and water are cooler than Daytona Beach. And though it's not a race, the distance the route takes them is about 1.25 miles. Some said the darkness was a little unnerving, especially under bridges where the swimmers really couldn't see much of anything in the water. There were lifeguards on hand to keep an eye on things, and the canals are clean, at least according to one of the people who took part. Several who spoke to Reuters News said they enjoyed the experience and that it gave them a unique way to see the city, its parliament, and its lights at night, all from the level of the canals that quietly pass through it. Is Gen Z the unhappiest generation? That's a subject we're exploring next on The World from A to Z. My name is Carl Azuz, and I'm always happy to see you. For years, studies about people's well-being have shown that they start out with it, tend to lose it as they approach and reach middle age, and then regain a sense of well-being as they move toward older age. But for the first time, a study of data from around the world indicates that young people report they're experiencing so much anxiety and despair that the line of happiness seems to start out lower and then improve through middle age and into later life. A lot of the focus here is on young adults, people ages 18 to 24, which includes Generation Z. For their U.S. data, researchers looked at answers from phone surveys made between 1993 and 2024, and the number of days per month that people said their mental health was, quote, not good. Researchers examined similar surveys from other countries where people discussed their levels of anxiety and stress. Across the globe, the study found signs of despair had increased in recent years, so much so for young adults that it suggests they now have the least amount of well-being, with advanced ages reporting better mental health. Why? Well, the COVID pandemic affected everyone, young people in particular. Numerous studies have indicated that the restrictions, lockdowns, and isolation harmed people's mental health. But it's not known exactly why Gen Z may be more prone to unhappiness than older generations. Some experts hypothesize that the rise of artificial intelligence and decline of entry-level jobs are having an impact, and that the rising costs of home ownership hurt. Some say social media and how people see others online makes them feel worse about themselves, and that it leaves them more isolated when they should be spending more time with people in person. This is not the first study in recent years to find indications of unhappiness among young adults. The challenge is in finding ways to address it.
From the time you wake up to when your head hits the pillow again, many of us stay busy, and experts say constantly being on the go can lead to stress and anxiety.
Let's face it, life can be hectic, but making sure you stay mindful can help keep you cool, calm, collected.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says the first way to do that is simply focusing on your breathing. Deep breathing is a technique where you take air in slowly through the nose and then out through the mouth using the diaphragm and abdominal muscles.
Just doing that for 90 seconds, or even just taking 3 long, deep breaths, can help change the rhythm of your breathing, which then slows your heart rate and lowers your blood pressure.
The next strategy Gupta suggests isn't always an easy one, but he says practicing self-compassion can actually help calm your mind and body and reduce stress.
Take 20 seconds to rub the back of your neck or squeeze your upper arms, like a hug. It's a quick way to self-soothe and ease anxiety.
Finally, Gupta says just 1 minute of daily meditation can clear your head and slow your breathing.
After just a few weeks of these short meditations, you might want to add more time to the routine.
I'm Mandy Gaither.
Word of knowledge. The U.S. presidency has never been won by a candidate representing what party? Whig, Independent, Federalist, Democratic, Republican. Though American leaders haven't all been Democrats or Republicans, nobody has ever won on an independent party ticket.
Did you know it's not just Democrats and Republicans who run for office? There's a full spectrum of political parties. In fact, 5 different political parties have won the presidency. To learn more, check out periodicpresidents.com.
On this date in world history. September 4th, 1957 saw a key event in the U.S. Civil Rights Movement. 9 African-American students had enrolled at Little Rock Central High School in Arkansas. Up until then, the school had been all white. But the U.S. Supreme Court's Brown versus Board of Education decision had come down 3 years earlier and ruled that racial segregation was unconstitutional. On September 4th at Central High, an angry mob of white people, along with the Arkansas National Guard, prevented the 9 black students from attending class there. But the event drew national attention to the students and the state's defiance of the U.S. Supreme Court decision. And by September 25th, with the help of the federalized National Guard and the U.S. Army, the Little Rock Nine, as they came to be known, finally attended school regularly at Central High.
Welcome to Jean Street, where the click-clack of looms is the soundtrack of the high-end jean industry. Momotaro Jeans in southwest Japan is cutting against the grain of fast fashion. Clothing here is handmade the slow way and meant to last for the long haul. Let's start at the beginning of the process. The indigo plant, harvested right here in Japan.
This is an indigo dye called izome. It's a natural dye.
Indigo color is much richer than synthetic imitations, and it leaves its mark on the workers too. This coloring technique is the same one that was used to dye kimonos in the 17th century. The cotton is imported from Zimbabwe and dipped in the deep blue liquid. The dyed yarn is hung to dry and then woven into fabric using shuttle weaving machines. These have just a quarter of the output of factory looms, and they often fail, so weaving craftsmen walk back and forth between the machines to detect unusual sounds that could signal an impending breakdown.
There are now only a few of these machines in Japan. Even if we wanted to increase the number of machines here, there are none available.
Once the fabric is woven, a seamstress sews it into jeans. The Momotaro brand is named after a Japanese folklore hero. Momotaro garments are designed to be worn for decades and come with a lifetime warranty for repairs. A standard pair of Momotaro jeans retails for around 30,000 yen, or $200 US. The brand's most expensive offering is woven by hand on a wooden machine converted from a luxury kimono loom. This pair of jeans has a price tag of over $1,300. And while that might be a bit out of our price range for many of us, the overall idea of investing in clothing made to last might be worth buying into.
Starting across the pond today before shouting out a couple schools stateside, from RAF Lakenheath, an Air Force station in the United Kingdom, we want to recognize Mr. Smith's class at Lakenheath High School. Great to have y'all watching. Meantime, in the state of Washington, lightning has struck. That's the mascot of Liberty Middle School, where you'll find Mrs. Kilcup's amazing students in Spanaway. And it's only natural to visit the natural state of Arkansas from the city of Bentonville. We're thankful to be part of Mr. Derrick's class. Hello to everyone at Benton County Juvenile Detention Center. 2 words, waterlily weightlifting. Victoria water lilies, aka giant water lilies, aren't just massive and able to grow up to 10 feet in diameter. They've got the strength to back it up. Check out those veins, y'all. It's jacked. So international zoos and gardens get together online every year to see whose lily can lift, or at least support, the most weight before sinking. And this time around, a leaf at Florida's Bok Tower Gardens maxed out at 183 pounds. Its clean and press victory just barely snatched the title away from the runner-up's 182-pound one-rep max before progressive overload sank its drop set. Of course, they were all forced reps, and the lilies had only ever done static training before they were maxed out. But with all that size to photosynthesize, supersetted with time under tension, they definitely know squat about pressing for big gains until failure. I'm Carl Azuz, and I'm going to go work out. I'll be here to spot you more news and puns tomorrow on The World from A to Z.